Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing like a talk through get ready with me, and I haven't done one of these yet since I've been back, so I'm really excited. And I'm probably just going to do like what I normally would wear on an everyday basis, and I'm probably going to do like a reddish, copperish eye because I've been enjoying that recently. So yeah, if you want to see kind of an everyday makeup look and just want to sit here and chat with a friend, stay tuned. Alright, this clip is not giving me a good time. I'm like trying to we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do that. Alright, well as you can see, I have a nice little pimple right here, so that's awesome. It's like I never really break out too much, but then sometimes like my skin's just like, hey, you need a friend? I got you one. Yes, so for makeup, usually I start off with my eyes. I just prefer it because then I don't get fallout on foundation that I put on, and it's just easier for me. And eyes always take me a little bit longer than doing my face anyway, for some reason. So it's kind of nice to like get that part out of the way first. So yeah, I'm going to start out with my NARS eye primer. And I freaking love this thing. So as you can see, it kind of is just like white and goes on pretty clear. But I bought a tube of this about a year ago and I just ran out of it. So even though this doesn't look like much product and it is kind of expensive, I think it's around like $26, it lasts you such a long time. And I find this works a lot better than the Urban Decay ones, the Too Faced one. Just so many eye primers have been blown out of the water because of this one. I think that's a saying. Okay, so we're going to let that dry a little bit. And another thing I want to do is use the Scandinavia Makeup Primer Spray. This is a little baby. I got it when I bought the larger size. You know the Smashbox Photo Finish Water? Basically that's what this is, but I kind of like this one a little bit better than the Smashbox one. It's kind of refreshing also, so it goes on very finely mist, and it just kind of, I don't know, it feels refreshing, and I find my makeup looks a little bit better when I use it than when I don't use it. So I let my primer set for a little bit, and I forgot to mention beforehand that I've already washed my face and everything, and I used Lush Angels on Bare Skin as my face wash. I used the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, and then I used Origin's Ginseng Eye Cream. But basically, I'm going to be using two different palettes today for my eyes. I recently just picked this one up again. I haven't touched this palette in like years, and I used to love it. But it's the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, like the original one. I don't have the two. I'm more of a warm tone eyeshadow person, not really so much of a cool. Basically, after I put on eye primer, I like to put on some kind of like flesh tone color just to even out all these veins and everything, and just so all the tackiness can go away. Alright, and I like to bring it up to the brow bone. Just this whole area I like to get covered just because I hate the feeling of tackiness when I'm applying eyeshadow, because I feel like it just makes it really difficult to blend. After I do that, then I'm going to go in, oh, by the way, I used Walk of Shame and Foxy from the Naked 2. I used these two colors right here. And then I'm going to use Naked 2, which is right here. Naked 2 is like the perfect blending shade, because I love to have like a transition shade because it makes everything blend so much easier. Like I used to just do like one or two eyeshadows and that was it, and honestly it looked very chalky and not very blended. So after that, then I'm gonna be diving into my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I touched on this in my drugstore favorites video because these three shades right here, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these three right here are gorgeous and just make like this perfect cranberry copper eye, I would say. I don't really know how to describe it. I'll figure out the wording later. But basically, I'm gonna go in with what they say the crease color is, and it's kind of just like this dark brown, like it's a little bit shimmery. Well, actually no, it's not shimmery, but it has a sheen to it. So I'm going to be taking that. By the way, the brush that I'm using is the Sephora Pro Blending Brush. It's the number 27. I have used this brush all year, and it has been such a game changer. Let me tell you. Oh my god, I love this brush. Okay, but basically to apply my crease color, I kind of focus a lot on the outer corner initially, and then I kind of bring it in like these windshield wiper motions. And if it's not completely perfect like initially, that's completely fine. We'll just keep blending. Pretty much the key to having any eye look good is just to keep blending and blending and blending. And also when I blend in the crease, I kind of bring it down onto my lid a little bit too. I used to be so afraid of putting like darker colors on my lid, but now I'm like obsessed with it. And this isn't even that dark, but no, I used to always just put like champagne colors on my lid and that was it. And honestly, I was really limiting myself because I feel like it's a lot more fun to play with like smokier eyes. Okay, so that's good enough for now. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is from Sigma. Yeah, it's a Sigma E30 pencil brush. And I'm going to be using the definer shade on the bottom, which is, this one is a little more sparkly. I mean, typically I like to stick with mattes, but I mean, I love this palette, and honestly, the shimmer really isn't that noticeable. It's not like an unbearable amount, and also I've noticed that there's no type of fallout when I use this palette. And seriously, for like $6 or $7, this palette is like, this is real good. We're gonna go immediately into the outer corner, and I kind of like to place the color initially. I don't really do things like traditional, because this is definitely not what I see on YouTube videos, but whatever. So I kind of just put it on the outer initially, bring it in a little bit, and it looks very bad right now, I realize that, but again, blend, blend, blend. There's no like one right way to do makeup. Like there's recommended ways to do it, but there's no one right way. Pretty much what we have now is like a clusterfuck of eyeshadow on my eye. So now that it's very messy, we are going to go in and blend. I'm going back to my Sephora Pro Blending brush. Why can't I talk? I kind of start on the outer corner. And I didn't put any new product on this brush. I'm just using whatever was left over from that initial color. Just kind of like going in circular motions, focusing really a lot on going into my crease. Now I'm going to take the eyelid color right here, and I'm just going to place that right on the areas that I didn't apply any eyeshadow. And again, even after I put this on, I'm still going to be blending, because I don't want it to just be like these two separate things. I want it all to just kind of flow together. Okay, and for my brow highlight, I'm going to go back to the Naked Basics just to keep it simple with these two palettes. And I'm going to use, I'll use Walk of Shame. I'm going to use my Sigma concealer brush actually. It's the F70. I don't know, I really like this brush for doing my brow bone highlight. It just is like the perfect size. And sometimes I'll still just use my finger for brow bone highlight, because really, your fingers are great tools for doing eye makeup. But I have a brush that I like, so I'm just going to use that. Didn't really turn out so much cranberry, more so like golden brownish red. I can't really tell. It looks a lot different on camera than it does in person. So next thing I like to do is my eyebrows. So for that, today I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I recently just picked this up again, and I don't know, like I really like it, but my NYX Micro Brow works just as well. Only difference is that this color matches me a bit better right now for my eyes, so I'm going to use this one. But seriously, if you're looking for something like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, the NYX Micro Brow is literally so similar. So honestly, I probably would recommend this one over the Anastasia, but I'm going to use Anastasia today anyway. So first things first, use the spoolie side. I'm going to do my brows real quick, and I'll be right back. I'll put in a couple clips, but I think I'd rather do like a whole like brow routine video. So if you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll totally do that. The basics of what I do for my eyebrows is I like to outline initially, and then fill in. And I like to start like right here, use small strokes. And a big tip I have for eyebrows is don't overfill them, because not all of my eyebrow is sparse. In areas that are like right closer, it's pretty sparse. That's the areas that I would fill in, but don't go over areas that already are pretty full. I like initially outline starting under, then I kind of work my way up. Alright, I'm going to finish my brows real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we have brows on, and actually I think I'm definitely going to do a brow routine video, because it would just take way too long to try to explain everything that I do to my brows in like a simple get ready with me, because this video would be like a half hour long and I know no one wants to sit here and listen to me talk for a half hour, so I'll probably definitely make a separate video on it. But now I do my eyeliner, and well, I do like half my eyeliner right now. I do my liquid liner, and I also put liner on my waterline once the rest of my face is done later. But for right now, we're gonna do a liquid, and I use nothing special. I just use my Stila Stay All Day liner, and they recently changed the packaging. Like, it used to be like silver and now it's gold. I'm excited about it. It's really difficult to talk when trying to do your liquid liner, so I'm sorry if I'm not talking for a couple minutes here. And yes, I pull on my eyelids. I know I'm getting wrinkles. I can't help it. Like, it's just what I do. Once I start seeing wrinkles, maybe I'll stop, but for right now, I still do it. I'm sorry. Basically, I like to start with like a basic line, like closest to my lash line, and I kind of like to start in the inner corner and work my way out. So I feel like I'm out of frame. I'm sorry if I am. I'm trying to explain the best I can. Alright, so you can see I started going in more towards my inner corner, and then I'm just going to be working my way outwards. Alright, that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to do my other eye real quick. Alright, so now that I've done that, I move on to my face. And I know I already put on a primer earlier, but that was just my spray primer. But I also use an actual, like, well, what was that? I use like an actual like primer you apply. And I use the Too Faced Primed and Poreless primer. This is just like the original. I don't know if they have other kinds, but this is just the one that I enjoy. And I kind of just get like a generous amount on the back of my hand. And a big tip is to always apply your primer downwards, because then it smooths out all the little hairs on your face and you get a much more even application of your foundation. And well, for my forehead it's a little more difficult. I kind of go a little sideways on my forehead, but I never really apply foundation to my forehead. I kind of just use powder because I just don't think I need it. I just realized I forgot to put on brow gel, so I probably should do that in a sec. So I kind of just like make sure everything is all smooth, and then I let that sink in for a sec, just because if you put on foundation like right after you put on primer, it's kind of just going to counteract the primer. So let's put on some brow gel. I'm using the Anastasia clear brow gel, and I mean I like this brow gel, but it's definitely not my favorite. I did like the Makeup Forever one, which I never see anyone talk about. It's the Makeup Forever Brow Fix, and it's cheaper than this one too. It's like $18. This is like $22. So yeah, I definitely recommend that one. Maybe I'll buy that one next time at Sephora. While I let my primer set, I like to just do anything else that I can do right now that isn't on my face. Like stuff that just saves me time in my routine. So like for example, will usually bronze my neck to kind of blend out down here, or I'll put on mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. I've been using the regular telescopic. I just bought the carbon black and I like it a lot. It's like one of those mascaras I always heard about at the drugstore, but I never like even thought about buying, I guess. And it's really good, so I don't know why it took me so long. Yeah, I don't really do anything too special with my mascara. I used to use lash primer, and I still do sometimes, but I find that it doesn't really do that much for me. Like, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but like, what? Then let's do the other eye. So for my second mascara, I'm using my Buxom mascara. I don't really know what else the name is. I think it's just like their basic mascara. And I used to use this forever ago, but I stopped. I ran out of it one day and I just stopped buying it. And I don't know why, because it is a really good mascara, especially layered with this one. Face is pretty smooth, pretty dry, so it's time to go in with my foundation. I don't wear foundation every day. If I'm running late, I'll use like a powder foundation because I just find it's easier. But on days where I have more time, like today, I like to use foundation, concealer, the whole freaking 9 yards. I like to also mix my foundations. I'm just really into mixing my products because it's just, I feel like it makes things work better. But basically what I'm mixing is my Makeup Forever Ultra HD and my CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I have this in numbers 105 and I have this in Y205. I feel like this is the lightest shade because this shade is way too light for me on its own, which is why I mix it with the CoverGirl, because the CoverGirl is too dark for me on its own and this is the lightest shade. So I don't know if you can see how like light that is, but it's super light. Like my face is not that pale. Like I'm pale, but I'm not that pale. Again, I use my fingers and I kind of go downwards with this because I like to just like kind of paint it on and then I'll blend it afterwards. And my skin isn't very acne prone. I mean, I'll get like the random occasion like that. It's more so just like I want to even out my skin tone and just get rid of any kind of redness. And really only I apply foundation like on these two areas of my face. I don't really put it on my forehead, and everywhere else that I'm not putting it, I kind of just use concealer. Because I find if I just put like a blob on and try to blend out like a blob, it does not, like I get so much product in my brush and it doesn't work as well as it does if I kind of blend it with my fingers a little bit first. And also these two foundations, I find when I apply them, like you don't have to work too fast, because you know some foundations dry super quickly and if you don't blend like immediately it gets like patchy and stuff, and I don't find that with these foundations. For my face brush, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I used to use my beauty blender all the time for my face makeup, but I kind of just got sick of it and I just kind of stopped liking how it applied. So I started using brushes and I really haven't gone back since then in a while. Alright, and then blend down the neck a little bit. So then after that, I like to apply my concealer. And for concealer, I kind of just bought this on a whim, but it's the Makeup Forever Full Cover Creme de Camouflage. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Extreme Camouflage Cream. And it's just basically like a super full coverage concealer. Like you need like the littlest bit of this and it goes such a long way. So I kind of just like squirt out a bit. It's kind of just one of those little squeezy tubes. And I bought a light shade for this too, just because I wanted to use it more as like a highlighting thing. So I go down my nose, like so, under my eyes. And again, on my face I like to blend out initially and then go back with a brush later. Okay, this is the It Cosmetics Airbrush Blurring Concealer Brush, and it's numbers 103. And this brush is a game changer. Like, I don't know, I used to just use my Expert Face Brush and just kind of use it all over. But having a more concentrated, smaller brush just makes blending so much easier for these like smaller areas. Okay, so I do that, then I put a little bit more on any like trouble areas like that. And for my eyes, I kind of start at the bottom of what I created and just kind of work my way up and in. I don't know, this concealer is just awesome at highlighting any areas that are super dull, and it claims to be waterproof. I don't really agree with that claim so much, because there's been times where I've cried and there's been like clear lines through my concealer where my tears were. So I don't know if it's just like the powder I'm using, but I'm not too sure about the waterproof claims. But I will say on the normal day this concealer is insane. Alright, so basically all I've done is I kind of put more brow bone highlight on, I bronzed my neck, and I put on chapstick. So now my face is pretty dry, not very tacky. So I'm going to go in with a face powder real quick. And normally I would use my Laura Mercier translucent, but I'm getting kind of low on it and I don't really feel like messing with trying to get product out of it today. So I think I'm just going to use my Too Faced Cocoa Powder Foundation, and this is in the fairest shade. Alright, so for this, I'm just going to be using a Real Techniques buffing brush. And I don't know, I like applying powder foundation more so with like a dense brush than I do just like a big fluffy brush. Especially when ooh, what is this right here? Especially when it's a colored powder, because I don't know, I like the extra coverage. Not that I need it, I just like the airbrushed look. I like making my face super matte and then putting on highlight to like control where I want my shimmer to be. Because I feel like whenever I don't put on a powder, I just get shiny in all the wrong places. I get a little more technical with my under eyes because I need those to stay in place because I tend to crease the worst under there. Okay, so I'm going to briefly use that It Cosmetics brush again and just kind of blend out any of the creases that might have formed while I was waiting for my face to set. So do that, and then I take my It Cosmetics tapered highlighter brush and I go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. As you can see, big fan of these two guys right here. I mix these two and I put that on my under eyes. I used to use a Real Technique setting brush, but I find this is just like better shaped and more domed and it just applies a lot better. So I just get a little of each of those shades and I start on the outer, work my way in, and then work my way downwards. I'll finish my eyes first and then I'll do like my contour and blush and all that. Or I'll do the blush and contour first. I think I'm just gonna finish my eyes first and then we'll come back to the face. So first thing I like to do is define my lower lash line. And I like to use, let's see, I'm just gonna go back in with the Naked Basics palette and use Naked 2, mixed it with a little bit of Faint. We're gonna use the Sigma Small Angle E65 brush and take Naked 2 and Faint. Just kind of mix the two, dust a little bit off, and again I start off in the outer corner and it goes on a bit dark at first, but we're going to blend it out so it's all good. And I really make sure to connect my eyeliner with the shadow so it all just kind of flows together, and my eyeshadow right now is kind of acting as an eyeliner. So how's your guys' 2016 going so far? Any resolutions you guys have? What'd you guys do for New Year's? Tell me in the comments because I'm actually super curious. For my New Year's, let's see, I went out with friends and it was a good time, but probably the highlight was Denny's breakfast the next morning. Dude, I swear on New Year's Day, every place I went, because I looked like a piece of shit, people are so nice to you. Like, it's insane. Like, I went to Denny's and people were like so insanely nice. Like, they were like asking for pictures of our nights out and everything. And I went to Starbucks later just because like I really needed the caffeine, and the girls there were super nice. The girls there were super nice too, and they were just asking how my night was, and it was just super great. So if you like work in customer service and like you're one of those people, you are the real MVP. Like, it was just super sweet. I don't know, because like I didn't really expect people to like be in that great of a mood because they would have to work on a holiday, but people were just super nice. I don't know, like people don't realize like how great it is to how just being nice to somebody makes them feel, because it put me in a great mood. Once I've got that desired amount of eyeshadow I'd like there, I'm going to go back in with that pencil brush I used earlier from Sigma and really make sure to get that dark color that was on there off and just kind of make it clean, and then just blend out that eyeshadow. Okay, so once we've done that, I'm going to go in with eyeliner. I like to use like a skin tone eyeliner on my waterline because it makes my eyes pop so much more than if I use black. I used to use black eyeliner on my waterline all the time, and my eyes are very watery a lot of the time, so it always just smeared and like got my inner corner, got on the outer part. It looked messy all the time, but like I had this weird thing in my head where I thought that I looked really bad if I didn't wear black eyeliner. But somehow I got over that, thank God, and now I use like a skin tone one. And actually what I use is Benefit's Highbrow, which is interesting because it's supposed to be a highlight for your brow bone. I don't like it for my brow bone. I find that it's just too waxy and looks very streaky. But as an eyeliner, it is the most intense eyeliner that I found. Because I went to Sephora, and I mean, I was using this, but I wanted to try something new. And I asked them to recommend me like a really good nude liner to wear. And the girl recommended, what was it? Yeah, she recommended the Lancome Drama liquid pencil. And I was like, oh my god, Lancome, it's gonna be so good. I used it. It's like, it barely shows up. Because this is just so intense and that one did not do me justice at all. Anyway, so for this, I'm just gonna put this on my waterline real quick and I will be right back. Bam. Like, go back a few seconds ago and then look now. Like, look how more intense it makes your eye makeup look just by putting on a nude liner. And I haven't even put on bottom mascara yet, which is insane. Okay, so for bottom mascara, we are gonna use, if I can find it, Clinique Bottom Lash. And I actually bought the wrong color of this. I meant to buy like the black color, but I bought like a brown black. Isn't that the worst when you buy mascaras and you buy the brown black when you just really want like the blackest black? Always happens to me. It sucks. But I don't really mind it that much. I'm gonna use it. So I take this, and I love this product because the brush is so tiny, as you can see. So I do that, then I take a piece of cardboard and I put that like under my eye and put it on like that. So let's see. So basically I go under my lashes and then just start brushing with the mascara. Alright, so I love that mascara, but I have the brown black, so it's really not as intense as I would like it to be. So we're going to go in with our telescopic mascara because this is carbon black and that's the kind of intensity we're going for. So we're on the last stretch of things now. So I'm just going to do an inner quarter highlight real quick and then we're going to get into face makeup. Okay, so eyes are good. Now we're just going to define our face a little bit and we are good to go. So I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be using the cooler tone to contour and the warmer tone to bronze. So for contouring, I like to use the Real Techniques sculpting brush initially, and then I go in with the Sephora Pro Angle Contour, because this is very good for blending upwards. But I find that this one is better for just placing the product initially. So we're going to get a bit of the cooler tone, put that on my brush, tab a bit off, and we're going to go right from like the ear to the lip. Not like a full line, you know what I mean. But like where your ear is right here, that's where you want to start it. And you put most of the product closer back to your ear. And you don't want to go past where your eyebrow ends for your product. You kind of just want to do this, and it looks super intense at first, and like you put a line on your face, but that's because you did. But we're going to blend it and it's all going to be okay. So we do the same over here. The most product there. And I kind of just put product on until I feel like the sides match up. To blend upwards, we are using that Sephora brush, and I like to blend upwards like this, so it's not as harsh of a line. And then very lightly, I blend the bottom, because I don't want to get rid of that line, but I also don't want it to look like super like intense, you get what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to look like just like a line was put there. I want it to look a little more seamless. So I very lightly blend the bottom. I mostly focus on blending the top. Now we're going to go into bronzing the face real quick. I'm going to be using a Sigma Large Angle Contour. This is F40. And I'm going to be using that warmer shade in the Kat Von D palette. And I like to do this on my forehead, around this area, around my temples, but I like to bring it pretty far back because I don't want it to take over most of my makeup, you know what I mean? I don't know, so I like to bronze, but I don't want too much bronze because I do like, I like being pale, I don't know. And then we're going to go on the nose and under the lip. And and I'm going to be using the Tapered Blending E40 from Sigma for that. And back to the contour shade, the cooler color in the Kat Von D palette, I'm going to go under my nose right here. And then I'm going to just focus on the areas right up here. Because I used to think that you have to make a full line down your nose to contour it. But everyone has different nose shapes, so it doesn't work for everyone. So I like to just focus on this area right here. Do that, and then under the lip. For blush, I'm going to be using Benefit Dallas. I freaking love this blush. It's like this pinky, mauve-y, I like don't know how to describe it, but it is so good. And I'm using this, I don't even know where I got this brush, honestly. I don't even know where I got this brush, honestly, but it's just like a plain old like angled contour type of brush. And I pack on the product, tab a bit off, and I go right above my contour. I like to start further back again and just work my way closer in. Alright, now we are going to do highlight. I'm going to be using Becca Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill, which I recently just got like a month ago, and this thing is beautiful. I see what all the hype was about. And I'm going to be actually using a Sigma foundation brush to apply it. I'm using the F60, and I'm taking a little bit, and this product is very pigmented, so I definitely tap a lot off, and I go right on the tops of my cheekbones. I like using this brush just because it's very dense and I can put the product exactly where I need it. Above the lip, bit on the nose, and on top of my nose, and also a bit above the eyebrow. I'll be taking an e.l.f. powder brush from their studio line, I believe, and just kind of blend everything together real quick. And last but not least is the lips. Sometimes I don't wear lips products, sometimes I do. Today I think we're going to, because I mean I don't really mind my natural lip color, but my lips kind of have trouble keeping product on for some reason. Like I have a very bad habit of biting and licking my lips, so that probably has something to do with it, but this product has managed to work through that with me. It's the Essence Lip Liner in Soft Berry. Like, even if I just wear this on its own, it lasts for such a long time no matter how much I'm messing around with my lips. It's insane. And my lips are actually very dry right now just because it is January and wintertime never treats my lips very well. So if they look a little dry in this video, it's because they are. I'm going to use Kat Von D's Lolita. I actually just bought this recently, and this has been like a cult favorite for a while now. So I don't know why I just bought it. Actually, no. It's been out of stock for a long time, and then it finally was in stock the other day. So like, you have to get it. It's like one of those products that you just have to get. I don't know. Cult favorites are always like really hard for me not to buy just because I always want to see what all the hype is about. I kind of very messily apply this because I'm just going to blend it out with my finger because I don't want it to be too defined. But yeah. I can easily say, for me personally, the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks are probably one of my favorites. They're like one of the only liquid lipsticks that don't dry my lips out and make them feel like just disgusting. Because I like the stila ones, but I always get like this ring around my mouth, like a white ring, because my lips are always so like, I really don't know how to explain it. If you have the white ring, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like the line where you can see where your lipstick ends and it just gets really messy. And the stila ones do that to me. The Kat Von D ones don't. So I definitely have to recommend the Kat Von D over the stila. But anyway, that is my completed look. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed getting ready with me today, please give this video a thumbs up so I know. If you guys want more videos like this, let me know, because this was kind of fun. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!